B. The wind pushed through the valley like a warning as the lion walked ahead, his golden mane flickering under the dim light. The mouse hurried beside him, trying to match his pace, eyes scanning the shifting shadows that crawled across the trees. Something felt wrong. The ground hummed beneath their feet, and the air carried the sound of distant rumbling, almost like a heartbeat rising from the earth itself. Kovu slowed, listening. The jungle had never sounded so alive, and yet so threatening. The mouse noticed Kovu's ears tilt forward, sensing danger that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. They exchanged a look, one of readiness, one of fear, and moved deeper toward the heart of the valley. Vines trembled above them as small creatures scrambled out of sight, fleeing toward the opposite direction of where the pair was headed. Even the birds remained silent, refusing to sing. Every step echoed with tension. Kovu's claws slipped slightly on the uneven ground, the soil pulsing like it was breathing. The mouse hopped onto a rock, looking over a ridge that opened into an enormous clearing they had never seen before. The clearing glowed with a strange violet light, swirling in patterns like living smoke. At its center stood a massive stone, cracked down the middle, leaking thin strands of luminous energy, vibrated softly, pushing waves of power through the valley. The mouse's whiskers twitched uncontrollably, and Kovu felt static spark along his fur. They slowly approached, feeling the air grow heavier. A shadow slipped across the stone, and for a moment, the mouse thought it saw a figure standing in the violet fog, vanished as quickly as it appeared. Kovu whispered for the mouse to stay back, but curiosity pulled them both forward. A deep growl rose from somewhere unseen. The stone's crack widened, light shooting upward into the sky like a beacon. Leaves blew in every direction as the wind twisted violently around them. Kovu stepped back, shielding the mouse with his body, too. The ground split open with a loud crack, shaking the whole clearing. From the opening reached a dark shape, long clawed and powerful. The mouse gasped as a second shape followed, then a third, until shadows poured out like a wave of living night. They didn't take solid form, but their glowing red eyes stared through the haze, locking onto Kovu. The lion snarled, stepping forward, refusing to show fear. The shadows formed a circle around them, whispering in voices that sounded like the wind passing through bones. The mouse trembled, but stood firm beside Kovu. Suddenly, the light from the stone flickered violently, then burst outward, scattering the shadows briefly and revealing what lay beneath. Massive figure rose from the earth, part lion, part something much older. Its mane was black smoke, its eyes burning with ancient fire. Kovu's heart froze. The legend spoke of a guardian lost to time, sealed away for protecting the Heartstone from a forgotten war. Few believed the stories. None believed the guardian still lived. The creature stared at Kovu with a heavy silence. It lowered its head, sniffing the young lion as if trying to recognize something long buried. Kovu felt his muscles lock, but the guardian merely breathed out a low, thunderous exhale that rippled across the clearing. The mouse stepped behind Kovu's leg, hiding from the piercing gaze. The guardian moved its massive paw, placing it gently against the cracked Heartstone. The violet light surged, wrapping around the creature like chains. It let out a roar that echoed across the mountains, sending the shadows fleeing temporarily. The mouse grabbed Kovu's tail, urging him to move back, but Kovu stayed rooted in place. A voice, deep and layered, filled the valley. The Heartstone awakens, and so does the darkness. The guardian's words vibrated through the ground. You, young lion, carry the scent of two paths, one of light and one of ruin. Kovu didn't understand, but the guardian continued. The shadow army rises again. The valley's seal is broken. You must choose which side you will awaken. The earth trembled as the guardian's form flickered between solid and smoke. Protect the Heartstone or lose everything you love. Before Kovu could respond, the shadows returned with a violent force, slamming into the guardian like a storm. Black tendrils wrapped around its limbs, dragging it toward the stone. The mouse screamed for Kovu to run, but Kovu charged forward, roaring at the shadows. His claws struck the dark surface, sending sparks of energy flying. The guardian weakened, pushed Kovu back with a heavy breath. Not yet. You are not ready. The shadows pulled harder, dragging the ancient creature into the crack inside the stone. The Guardian's fiery eyes locked onto Kovu one last time. Find the Ember Path. Before the shadows find you, in a flash of violet light, the cracks sealed shut. The stone dimmed. Silence fell. Kovu and the mouse stood alone in the clearing, the energy fading like a dying flame. The air grew cold. The forest whispered in fear. They stared at the now quiet Heartstone, realizing the ancient battle they had stumbled into was far greater than anything they imagined. Kovu took a shaky breath. The mouse climbed onto his shoulder, clinging tightly. Neither spoke, but both knew their journey had changed forever. The shadows had awakened, and somewhere deeper in the valley, something even darker was waiting.